Bhim! Jai 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 Bhim! Jai 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 Bhim! There's a lot of movement related work that has been happening for years on, regarding rights, caste oppressed communities. But in early January, we, in the Seattle area, a bunch of human rights volunteers as well as the caste oppressed community sat down, and Council Member Sawant was there in the gathering. And we talked about what are the things we should be doing for the year 2023, and that is where we discussed the movement so far in terms of campuses having added caste as a protected category to their non-discrimination policy and things like that. And so we said, is there something that we can do to take it to the next level in the city of Seattle? And that is where we said, what could we do to add caste into the city's set of protected categories?
John Doe, when he approached the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing for the caste discrimination case where he was employed at Cisco, and Cisco didn't really pay any heed to his complaint, and that case, that was an immediate trigger, and that started a lot of conversations around caste. And then there have been attempts to bring the caste as a protected category in various cities. Of course, the universities have also taken lead, which tend to be thinking capitals, so to say, or thinking spaces, so to say. Started with Brandeis, and then the Cal State and Brown universities and things like that. So there have been a good discussion. There have been kind of boiling of ocean, so to say, for past 2 to 3 years in the US. And the Black Lives Matter movement, of course, has provided a significant backdrop to ensure that the caste also becomes a protected category. The struggles, the parallels are all there for everyone to see.
There are slurs that are referred to. There is, and not just the slurs, there is a big pride on dominant caste culture. So on a daily basis, it is very much there, and it is undeniable.
The caste certainly exists out of South Asia. I get invited to talk about caste in various organizations and corporations. One of my friends introduced me to a global avionics, Paris headquartered, French headquartered company, and we have a presentation on caste. There is a lot of data, a lot of references in that presentation, so that nothing is left unambiguous and nothing is spoken in the air, so to say. I made the presentation to the HR, and they said, okay, they will fix the time and get back to me. Wherein after about a week or so, I get another call saying that, there are some questions and they want you to present once again. So essentially what happened was, there is one upper caste Brahmin lady who objected, saying that caste is a taboo subject in the US. We shouldn't be talking about it. She said, our president, she's talking about the Indian president, that the Indian president is from scheduled caste. And when I made the presentation, and then second time, and then I was asked to go, the internal discussion, some of this came up. There is an African American lady who was present. She said, diversity and inclusion talk is all talking about all the taboo subjects that are out there. She said, America also had Obama as a president. Does that mean the racism went away? And the third question she had was, the caste divides the society. And this, again, African American woman said, the society is already divided. We must be talking about it. But luck would have had it, the HR head left and my presentation never happened. So there is a conspiracy, so to say, by not talking about it, by not allowing any discourse.
And racial protections, when race was added as a protected category, would we go about saying that that is anti-Christian? It is it is because it is very clear that it is the dominant caste people who are hiding behind religion and saying that this is anti my religion. I mean, the vast majority of Hindus are caste oppressed in India, right? And in the US, several caste oppressed people are Hindu, and they are getting protections. And how does that make it anti-Hindu? So it is almost like the dominant caste people are saying that we own the title of Hindu, and we get to decide who has to be described as Hindu or not.
So either you acknowledge that it is part of your culture and try to get rid of it. Otherwise, don't make a hullabaloo about it. Religion is a protected category, and there is nothing that what this ordinance does. There is nothing talking about any religion per se. Religion is like said is a protected category. So one can't have it both ways, that we leave the caste behind, we do not bring the caste here. At the same time, we say that it's a part of their culture, or it's an attack on their culture.
This has definitely set a precedent for movements, to take, to push the conversation, and even, to bring about legislation, not just elsewhere in the US, but also even globally, where there are caste oppressed communities of various, generations across the world. In fact, just 3 days before our ordinance was passed in Australia, activists, the Periyar Ambedkar coalition of activists in Australia called PATCA, they had worked with the Australian Human Rights Commission to add caste into their anti-discrimination framework. That is happening. The similar movements have been happening in the UK. And in Canada, so wherever there are caste oppressed communities, this will be a huge shot in the arm for them, because there has been a precedent.